Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off.
Welcome to the Perfect Movie Podcast, the podcast that says, listen up, maggots. You are not special. You are not a beautiful or unique snowflake. You are the same decaying organic matter as everything else. I'm Michael.
I'm Kalen.
And today, we're covering Fight Club.
Yes. Might I say I chose this movie? I have been wanting to do this movie for a long time. I think that this film, there's so much to talk about, but also I think a lot of people miss the point of the movie entirely. It's a very, I don't want to say misunderstood because I don't want to be pretentious about it, but I think that this film talks about a lot more about the negative aspects of men in general. Mm-hmm. But I think that the audience, much like movies like Taxi Driver, Drive.
There's a lot of Taxi Driver in this movie.
Yeah. And I think the audience, the guys who go and see this movie, they're like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. And I relate to this, you know? But I think that you're totally missing the mark. And I think doing a deeper dive on this movie is warranted. And especially in today's culture where we have all the red pill bros and the incel culture is alive and well and is flourishing at the moment, I think that this is a great talking piece. Also, I think this movie is beautiful. I think that it's one of the best looking films I've seen. I mean, in general, it's just so groundbreaking, the style and everything with it. And it flows very naturally, and like it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's really great. Michael, what do you think about Fight Club?
Same. It's, I think, a film that's cultural impact is strange, because I think the film's saying one thing, and then the people receiving the message are either clutching their pearls, or are misunderstanding it. A lot of the time, it was definitely true at the time. There's some interviews with Brad Pitt where he talks about this premiered at Venice Film Festival, and he was sitting next to one of the heads of the whole organization, and the man was just stone faced and could not stand it. And then when it came to the line where Marla says, "I haven't been fucked like that since grade school," he just stared daggers into the side of Brad Pitt's head. And yeah, people, there was walkouts.
What are you mad at Brad Pitt for? He didn't write it.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a film that it pushes a lot of buttons, and that's why it's, I think, been such a cultural force. And, all kinds of people had Fight Club posters in their room. Yeah. And, it's one of the most popular DVDs of all time. It wasn't that successful theatrically, but it sold on DVD extremely well.
It also spawned copycats and just a whole load of gross behavior.
And 1999 overall was a incredible year for movies.
Yes.
Matrix comes out this year,
which is very similar tonally.
The Matrix and The Sixth Sense come out this year, and those are this is smashing those two movies together. At least The Sixth Sense has the same twist about a character that was never really there.
Right.
And The Matrix also starts about, I live in an office and I'm being crushed by my cubicle life.
Yeah. And I think the social commentary is definitely something that's powerful and a lot of people relate to. It's the anti-corporation It's the big. It's just the big nothingness of life, and what's the meaning to everything? What's the meaning of me getting up and going to work every day if it doesn't if it doesn't fulfill me? It's like our Great Depression is our lives. That's what Tyler Durden says. And so what I did is I took off my shirt and I started punching myself a bunch of times, and now I'm fully conformed to the ideology of Tyler Durden.
I mean, when the twist is revealed and you kind of see the film on its face. It's a movie about a man who's like has a mental health crisis, commits arson to his own apartment, and then like lives in an abandoned house and starts like a corporate eco-terrorist group.
Yeah. The worst part is he sought help at first from the doctors, and they didn't do anything. They didn't give him anything, And then he sought an alternate form of therapy, which was going to these groups and stuff, these trauma groups, and getting some semblance of peace from that, but it still was leaving a gaping hole in his life.
Yeah.
And he found something better that he thought was better. But in turn, he's just a maniac.
Yeah. I agree with you. It's really beautiful in an ugly way. It's, if you've seen Seven, that's David Fincher's like first big film. Like it's kind of got the same sort of set design, especially in like the house that the cult takes over. Like everything is just
very
so
grungy
and disgusting.
This has more of a punk thing going for it though too, especially when you get into like the terrorist organization itself. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Ace is on art direction, and every like choice made in the filmmaking process.
I want to
is
say
a lot of
maybe
great stuff.
Brad Pitt's best performance of his career, probably.
I think people love it. I think this is during the time where it's leaning into like Brad Pitt's star persona big time. It'd be hard for me to say what is my like favorite Brad Pitt performance. I think for me it might be Killing Them Softly.
Yeah. Definitely Edward Norton's best performance. Edward Norton kills it in this movie.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Helena Bonham Carter, also really great. Let's get into the performance test.
Yeah.
What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso. Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our favorite actors, scenes, characters, and moments. And we just mentioned the big three: Ed Norton, Helena Bonham Carter, and Brad Pitt. Where do we want to start?
I definitely want to start with Edward Norton. So he plays this character called the narrator. He's never really given a name until later on in the movie, where you find out the plot twist. But basically, Edward Norton's character, he's just very, he's just a guy who can't sleep. He's an insomniac. He works a monotonous office job where he inspects car crashes, or he inspects what the company he's working for is like. It's a big car company, and they go out and they inspect flaws within their vehicles that led to crashes, different things like that. But it's very monotonous, and he's just losing it completely.
And he flies around the country a lot.
Yes.
So he's kind of disconnected from any one person or place.
For 6 months, I couldn't sleep. With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away. Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy. When deep space exploration ramps up, it'll be the corporations that name everything. The IBM Stellar Sphere, the Microsoft Galaxy, Planet Starbucks.
Gonna need you out of town a little more this week. We got some red flags to cover.
It must have been Tuesday. He was wearing his cornflower blue tie.
You want me to deprioritize my current reports until you advise of a status upgrade?
Make these your primary action items. Here's your flight coupons. Call me from the road if there's any snags.
He was full of pep. Must have had his grande latte enema.
That also fucks with his sleep schedule. He's also very into furniture. His whole purpose in life at that moment is just getting more stuff for his place.
Yeah, he's like constantly sitting in the IKEA catalog, just ordering new
stuff. That was a blast from the past. I remember my mom getting those IKEA magazines.
Yeah, and it's funny because I watched this movie after a night where I like hardly slept and had like 3 hours of sleep, and I started it in the middle of the morning after giving up on trying to sleep anymore. And man, hits a little hard when you're dead.
Yeah. Did you want to start a terrorist organization after that?
I've been considering it for a while anyways.
He's kidding, FBI. He's kidding.
But I need a little more sleep to get started on that, you know? All I know is I've heard that you can make bombs out of many household supplies.
Like soap.
Like soap. Soap.
Soap. It's a predator.
I just want to get to you, before we get into more about our actors and scenes, I want to give you a what-if casting that I think actually would have been just as good of a movie. So originally, or at least one of the producers, someone was vouching for having Russell Crowe be the Brad Pitt part. I think late 90s, early 2000s, Russell Crowe could like do it. It'd be a different energy. He wouldn't be quite as maybe like sexy or cool, but I think he could do the like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit.
But I think that's
stuff.
the whole point of Brad Pitt's character, because he's everything that Edward Norton wants to be, you know?
Yeah, I just think this like Gladiator era Russell Crowe can do it. He could have done it.
He probably could have, but I didn't. I think Brad Pitt was perfect for this.
Oh, I agree. Like I wouldn't change it, but I think it would be a slightly different but maybe equally good version of this as if we had Russell Crowe in the Brad Pitt part.
Leo DiCaprio and Russell Crowe.
That'd be interesting. No, because Leo yells too much.
Yeah,
Leo can't act in a whole movie without yelling.
He can do the maniacal stuff, though.
Yeah. Leo
For
could have
sure.
been Tyler Durden. Except Leo isn't cool looking at all.
No. Maybe, and at that time, too, he was such a twink, it probably wouldn't work.
For a guy who's constantly swapping out 23-year-old girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Look, I get it with a lot of guys. I don't get it with Leo DiCaprio. What does everyone find so attractive about
Hey,
him?
his girlfriend now is actually 28, okay?
Wow!
I like Leo. I don't think he's bad. Anyways, this movie's not about Leo. Edward Norton, I think he is one of the greatest actors of our generation, I would say. He's solid in everything he's in. He's really good in Grand Budapest, even though he's got such a small role.
Yeah.
But he's great in that. He's in Birdman. He's got a great performance in that movie, too. I think he is the perfect actor for this character of the narrator. He's able to just, like, transform himself. Like, he first starts off as, like, this guy who's got obviously having a mental crisis, and you can see that on his face. I mean, like, he's so good at playing this guy that's just so distraught with life, and he's just, you can just tell the energy is just drained from him completely. But yeah, you watch his slow transformation over time, and then you realize, like, you know, this guy there's something super wrong with this dude, and I just think his performance is fantastic. I'm surprised he didn't get an Oscar for this, honestly.
Yeah, Ed Norton's really good. I think over the course of his career, as he like moves on past this point, like this is the point where he's like really trying to be a star. He gets a reputation to be being kind of hard to work with, which I don't know all the details of. It does seem like he wants to be very hands-on in like all the process.
He's literally the character from Birdman.
That's the story of like why he doesn't return as Hulk in any of the Marvel movies, because he was very hands-on in like the creation and like writing of the film that he is in.
Yeah.
That he is in, sorry. And I think Marvel was like, we don't want someone with ideas. We just want a guy who reads the lines that we give him.
Well, to be fair, the 2008 Hulk wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't. But I just think like, and I think that's part of his reputation is that I think he has strong ideas.
Yeah, he's probably a perfectionist.
And I think like the trio of him and Brad Pitt and David Fincher like really did collaborate on this movie, and they work well together.
Yeah,
but that's not going to work with all like every production isn't going to have the room and space for like that kind of guy.
Right.
And I think
especially the big properties.
Yes. And like I do think Ed Norton's great in just about everything I've seen him in. But yeah, recently he's kind of fallen back where he's just like this guy that shows up in the occasional like important drama like Birdman.
Yeah.
And being just like a Wes Anderson side character.
Yeah. And I like that though, because it's like you get those movies like that feel special because you get these great actors that come in just for small cameos and stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt though, I think Brad Pitt is the true star of this movie. He plays Tyler Durden, which is just a maniacal character. It's just pure anarchy.
We find out that he's the id of the narrator.
Yes.
He's just unleashed it.
Yeah, and I bet this was I don't know. I saw it, like, I see it coming, you know, even if that I've watched this movie multiple times, but it's like you can see it coming, you know what I mean, the big twist and stuff. But I bet when this first came out, it was like a super mind-blowing thing. Probably led to a lot of conversations with people about it. But Brad Pitt, he's so eccentric, and he's just like got this gravitas to him that draws people to his character, and he's like literally the Joker. And I want to say that Heath Ledger probably took some inspiration from this character as well for his portrayal of Joker, even though they're a little bit different as far as like their mannerisms and stuff. But just the whole anarchy thing, I'm an agent of chaos thing, is very similar.
He has a lot of rants and speeches.
Yeah.
At various times. I think there's this standout of like when there's like the Fight Club where he talks about the rules of Fight Club, and
Yeah.
He has a speech later where he's like breaking down how like you're nothing, this and that. It's the speech that I did
He
at the
does
beginning
a fourth wall break.
Yeah, where he addresses the camera. And I think the one that sticks with me the most and also kind of feels like the hits blunt once rant is when he's doing the soap,
Yeah.
where he's holding Ed Norton's hand and he's burning, and he's like just yelling at him about all these things he needs to accept and about how he's nothing. And
To not block out the pain.
yeah.
This is a chemical burn. It will hurt more than you've ever been burned, and you will have a scar.
What are you doing?
Guided meditation worked for cancer. It could work for this.
Stay with the pain. Don't shut this out.
No, God!
Look at your hand. The first soap was made from the ashes of heroes, like the first monkey shot into space. Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
I tried not to think of the word serum or flesh.
Stop it!
This is your pain. This is your burning hand. It's right here.
I'm going to my cave. I'm going to my cave. I'm going to find my power animal.
No! Don't deal with it the way those dead people do. Come on!
I get the point, okay,
No,
please?
what you're feeling is premature enlightenment. It's the greatest moment of your life, man, and you're off somewhere miserable.
I am not.
Shut up. Our fathers were our models for God. If our fathers failed, what does that tell you about God?
No, I don't.
Listen to me. You have to consider the possibility that God does not like you. He never wanted you. In all probability, he hates you. This is not the worst thing that can happen.
It isn't.
We don't need him.
We don't. I agree. I agree.
Fuck damnation, man. Fuck redemption. We are God's unwanted children. So be it.
Okay, so I
Listen, you can run water over your hand to make it worse, or look at me. Or you can use vinegar to neutralize the burn.
Please let me have it, please.
First, you have to give up. First, you have to know, not fear, know that someday you're gonna die.
You don't know how this feels.
He's got a lot of rants and speeches. Honestly, I don't find a lot of flaws in his methodology. Not his methodology, his like ideas. But
using violence is not the way.
well, look, Kalen. If
Right?
somebody blew up every credit card company's headquarters, and they say specifically like it's all our people on the inside, they're getting
Yeah.
out.
It took away our debt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too bad about
He's
that.
I mean that's what he is. He's a corporate terrorist. I mean some people get hurt. I mean I love the scene where
They take the guy in the bathroom.
no. I mean that's also a great scene, but isn't it I'm forgetting his character's name. Bitch Tits dies.
Oh, Robert Paulson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed Norton sees him as they bring him back because there was some accident when they blew up this corporate art and they were going to roll it into the Starbucks, and there's a problem along the way. And then Ed Norton has this whole speech about like, because this is the moment where Ed Norton's like, this is too much. He's starting to have like second guesses. He thinks Tyler's out of control because he's still convinced that Tyler's another individual at this time. And he's like not happy with the way this Project Mayhem is like unfolding.
Yeah.
And then he has this whole speech about like, he's like, nobody has, one of the thugs is like, nobody has names in Project Mayhem. And he's like, no, he has a name. It's Robert Paulson. And now he's dead because of us.
Yeah.
And then, but it's funny that like the machine keeps spinning without him. Like he's got the ball rolling.
And so they just change it and they turn it into more ideology.
Yeah. One of the goons is like, oh, so you're saying in death we
get
gain
names.
our name.
Yeah.
And they all like amp themselves up over that.
His
and
name is Robert Paulson.
And it's like, yeah, interesting that he's like started this cult, and it's, you know, it's now it's a self-propelling machine. Like I think it's the concept of like there's heads of revolutions, sure, but it's really the ideas that that drive the action.
Yeah.
And you can take the head off the revolution,
but the revolution keeps going, man.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
We were on assignment. We were supposed to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Destroy a piece of corporate art.
Operation Latte Thunder, go.
And trash a franchise coffee bar. We had it all worked out, sir. It went smooth until...
What?
They shot Bob. They shot him in the head.
Fucking pigs. Oh, God. Those motherfuckers!
You morons. You're running around in ski masks trying to blow things up? What did you think was gonna happen?
Okay, quick. We gotta get rid of the evidence. We gotta get rid of this body.
Bury him.
What?
Take him to the garden and bury him.
Come on, people, let's go! Hey, get the fuck off! Get away from him! What are you talking about? This isn't a fucking piece of evidence. This is a person. He's a friend of mine, and you're not gonna bury him in the fucking garden.
He was killed serving Project Mayhem, sir.
This is Bob.
But sir, in Project Mayhem, we have no names.
No, you listen to me. This is a man, and he has a name, and it's Robert Paulson, okay?
Robert Paulson?
He's a man, and he's dead now because of us, all right? Do you understand that?
I understand. In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys,
His
please,
name
stop it.
is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
This is all over with!
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
That whole thing, how it like spirals into something bigger. Because I feel bad for the people who went into this thinking this was going to be a boxing movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not. This is something totally different. We're still in the performance test. Let's go on to a couple more people. Helena Bonham Carter plays Marla Singer, who is just like this junkie woman who we meet her. She's doing the same thing as the narrator character, where she's going to these like trauma groups, and she's like getting some type of therapeutical.
It's specifically support groups that are for like people that are terminally ill.
Terminally ill people, yes. So there's like like cancer, and the one where he meets bitch tits is like the breast cancer guys or whatever, or no, testicular
cancer guys.
And so the reason why this guy's got bitch tits is because he's taking these hormones because his balls, he doesn't have balls anymore.
That is the rocker Meatloaf playing
is it
bitch
really?
Tits. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. But yeah, Marla, she's like more so kind of like the heart of the film, where she is the humanity aspect, where she's like this woman who she has no aspirations in life, nothing, and she latches on to Tyler.
Yeah, she's not so much anarchist as she is just like given up.
Yeah. And she sticks around for this guy because she sees something in him, but also like her whole thing basically is she just likes to get fucked by this guy. And that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot for her character as far as like her motivation to stay with Tyler.
And on rewatch, it's really that she's kind of supposed to be your biggest hint that there's something going on.
Yeah.
With the way that she reacts to Ed Norton speaking to her in certain scenes where she's like, what the hell are you talking about? You seem like a completely different person than the person I was fucking upstairs.
Right.
Yeah. I think she's just so good. Like, I mean, this is template for many characters she's played.
She's literally this character in everything she's in.
She's very gothic, and she wears it well. Like, I think there's a couple other, like, if you could teleport like a slightly older Winona Ryder from like the Beetlejuice era, like she could have maybe done that. Like, there's a few other actresses that could, but she's like the A1 for this era,
right?
For playing these really gothic, depressed characters.
She's really good though. She has a great performance.
Did you hear the behind-the-scenes story of... Now, this is one of her lines. After she has sex with Tyler, she says, "I haven't been fucked like that since grade school." Do you know the backstory of that line?
You mentioned it before to me, but it was like the Brad Pitt sitting next to some corporate head or some studio head.
No, that's the reaction to it. So there's a different line originally. The line that was originally placed in there in the final cut was... "Oh, baby, I want to have your abortion." Which, the suits were like, "We don't like that.
Both options are not that great.
Can we rewrite the line?" And David Fincher was like, "Yeah, sure, but you're not going to make me change it again." So then he does the "I haven't been fucked since grade school" line. And then they're like, "Actually, can we go back to the abortion one?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah, you guys fucked up regardless. It's very much in character for her though, because she's like also like a sadist as well.
Yeah, and if you watch David Fincher speak about the film, I think he also thinks the making of this film is his own little like anarchist organization. Like this production was his little Project Mayhem. Yeah, and his little like way to flip to the bird to all these corporate people.
It's like, can we change that? No, the wheel is still spinning. Buddy.
Yeah, yeah, it's still going downhill. Sorry, bud.
She has this line, like another line, kind of like that, where she calls the narrator as he's at work. She's like, my fucking tit's gonna rot off or something crazy like that. It's like, oh my god, this woman she's nuts.
Hello?
Where have you been the last 8 weeks?
Marla? How'd you find me?
You left that forwarding number. I haven't seen you at any support groups.
Yeah, we split them up. That was the idea, remember?
Yeah, but you haven't been going to yours.
How do you know?
I cheated.
I found a new one.
Really?
It's for men only.
Like the testicle thing?
Look, this is a bad time, okay?
I've been going to Debtors Anonymous. You want to see some really fucked up people?
I'm just on my way out.
Me too. I got a stomach full of Xanax. I took what was left of a bottle. Might have been too much.
Just picture watching Marla Singer throw herself around her crummy apartment.
But this isn't a for real suicide thing. This is probably one of those cry for help things.
This could go on for hours.
So you're staying in tonight, then?
Do you want to wait and hear me describe that? Do you want to listen and see if my spirit can use a phone? Have you ever heard a death rattle before?
Yeah, the supporting characters, there's actually like, it's not Paul Rudd is in this, but there's another guy that looks like Paul Rudd. What's his face?
Jared Leto's in this.
Jared Leto's in this. Yeah, fuck him.
He doesn't really have any lines. They knew to shut him up.
My favorite part was when his face got fucking caved in.
Yeah.
That was a great scene.
He gets bashed.
The supporting cast is all great. Not a lot of like going on. I think the guy who plays his boss, Ed Norton's boss.
Oh, he's a real that guy. I couldn't name him, but he's a that guy.
He was good though. He had some great scenes. The scene where Ed Norton's character is like basically, well, number one, he like threatens to basically shoot up the office. That was like the first one.
And I want to say
this is grounds for firing. I mean,
this is just post Columbine. Like, well, no, Columbine's like 91, but like, yeah.
But 92. It's still fresh though.
Yeah. You know? Between that and the buildings collapsing at the end, like there's some taboos that we've crushed, and they didn't even know it at the time because this is made in 99. Shall we get into it tonight?
Yeah.
This is where we're going to talk about aspects of the filmmaking process, like sets, design, costuming, music.
What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso. Yeah, that way.
The thing that struck me the most on my last rewatch of this is how good this fucking movie looks, man. It looks so good. and it looks like something that could be made today. And it's like there's some saturation things sometimes where it's a little oversaturated, and there's like some, I don't know, but all the camera work is interesting because the big thing is like you learn early on that Tyler Durden, that character, he has a side job as he works the movie reels at a local theater, and he cuts in pornographic images into the children's films, and which leads to a great scene with that. But they take the style of like old film reels and stuff, and they place it into the film itself. And there's great scenes with like Tyler as he's monologuing, and the camera's just shaking and stuff, and it's going off reel, and it looks super cool. And that stuff, like, I don't know, it just, for that time period, for the 90s, it just doesn't seem like something that's usually done, where it's like this artistic look, and it just looks so clean. And I know there's been some 4K restorations and stuff, but my recent watch through this, I was like, this looks incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot done stylistically. We got some like slow-mo CG shots during
the actual Fight Club.
The actual Fight Club stuff.
So the cinematographer, actually, Jeffrey Scott Cronenweth, he did a lot of music videos. He did some stuff for Lady Gaga, Maroon 5, David Bowie, Celine Dion. So this guy, and you can tell with the way this is shot too, that it does have like some type of like music video kind of flair to it.
And that's what Fincher did before he was a film director. He's also a music video director. I was wrong. This was shot on film, but that's how they're getting that shuddery effect during those scenes where Brad Pitt's directly addressing the camera, where they are actually like dragging the film reel, so you can see those edges like in frame.
Right. And I love that, like, that decision to do that when it's like you're doing that fourth wall break, because it's like he's coming out of the movie itself. Like, this is not something that's part of the movie. It's him cutting himself into a film. You know what I mean? And it totally is in line with his character and everything. It's just like, that's like a little moment that's just like brilliant to me, where it's like, that's so perfect. Great job. Pat on the back, you know?
Yeah. The set for Project Mayhem, the house, the corroded, broken down
so
house,
grungy.
Is so detailed, and like you get to know it very quickly, and like the geography of just that area, and it's so well designed, and it's so disgusting, and like the water's brown,
and he's brushing his teeth with it,
and everything's gross, but like, and it's so funny that to me the first like 40 minutes of this, and we didn't mention this yet. Just how much it hits like the narrator's in love with Tyler.
Yeah.
For like the first 30 or 40 minutes, because he like follows him to go live in this grungy house.
Yeah.
And you're like, why would you hang out with this guy?
He didn't choose the girl to go live with.
No. He chose Tyler. The author was closeted at the time and has since come out as gay. And I think he said that, like, I didn't intend to make this seem that way.
Yeah.
But I think
the author of the book.
The author of the book.
Yeah.
I
don't think we mentioned that. This is based on a book.
Yes, this is based on and it was a pretty popular book.
And the author is kind of an asshole.
He seems
he's very full of himself.
And he also seems like he would be in like the new men's movement. Like he would hang out with Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan.
Yeah. And he's also came out and said that like he hates his audience and people are stupid for liking the movie and liking the book. And then he went on to make a graphic novel like sequel of the movie, which was terrible.
Yeah.
And we'll separate the art from the artist. But
this movie is peak just like gray blue grime. Like everything's got that cold feeling when you're like in the office. And
the most disgusting scene was when they went to the liposuction clinic and got the fat out of the that toxic waste bins and stuff. Oh my God, it was so gross. And it like ripped open and then he was catching it in his hands. I almost threw up. That was disgusting.
Tyler was selling the ladies' fat butts back to them and it was beautiful, says the narrator. I agree with you. It's an incredible looking film and it hasn't aged. I mean, a couple of the effect shots are iffy, but other than that, like there's nothing to really complain about.
Some of the building scene at the end when the demolition scene, that looked a little funky, but it's still a great shot. And they do that great thing where they cut in the dick at the end. That's great.
That was my favorite part.
Oh yeah. I pause it specifically on that scene.
I go frame by frame.
Yeah, I also want to talk a little bit about if we're doing drip check. I think that Brad Pitt is definitely dripped out in this movie. It's a little gay, but he looks good. A lot of V-line.
Tyler is
crack.
just wearing a lot of things that you could find at a secondhand store.
Yeah, but he pulls it off though.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense the things he's wearing, but it's like a shitty graphic,
it's definitely a statement.
A shirt and some Dickies or something.
Or he's got like a fur coat, some kind of coat with like a fur fringe on it.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people melted for this version of Brad Pitt, especially when he takes his shirt off and starts punching people all wet
And then later on, he shaves his head, and I think that inspired a lot of fashion going forward in the early 2000s for especially white men.
Yeah, this was the Brad Pitt shaved head era.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, all that stuff.
This movie is the original Thirst Trap, is what we're trying to say. But yeah, he's dripped out in this movie. Yeah, I just think as far as production-wise, this movie is nearly perfect. So let's move on to, hey, what are you trying to say? And I think we can get into some good stuff in this.
Before we do this, the last thing I wanted to mention in It's an Art was, the soundtrack, when it's not licensed music, is this during a lot of the montages, there's this kind of funky
guitar
riff music going on, and it's funny because David Fincher told, I forget what band did it for him, but he was like, yeah, I want it to sound like a bunch of white boys that think that they have rhythm.
That's great.
And then this movie, it's a needle drop at the end, which is Where Is My Mind, as Marla and Tyler, or the narrator, are watching the buildings explode.
Yeah.
It's, one of the more iconic scenes of the late 90s.
For sure.
Also, the makeup effects when Tyler shoots himself in the face.
Oh, it's awful.
Are fucking great.
Awful in a great way.
Yeah.
It looks so hideous.
Yeah. He's just going oh, no, I'm fine. And they're like, boss, you don't look so good.
I'm fine. You met me at a very strange time in my life.
He's kind of like you said, Joker. He's kind of a Batman villain, specifically with the way his goons treat him. They're like, hey, boss.
Yo, it's the Bat. It's the Joker.
What do you mean? All right. Now we can move on to, hey, what are you trying to say?
Take it away whenever you're ready.
All right, let me just get that last measurement on your
Thank you. I need this for the wedding.
Okay, well,
I need it really quickly.
It could take about a week to do.
It could take a week?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you trying to say? He's trying to say that I'm so big, my bum is so big, you need to order to various countries far away to get enough material to make a pair of pants so I can fit my incredibly obese buttocks into a pair of your specially made little suits.
No, I mean I'm the only one working here this week.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that would be great. Mm-hmm.
It's anti-capitalism, anti-big corporation extravaganza.
I mean, Tyler has the whole rant that it's like you're working a job to buy things you don't need. Oh, a job you don't care about to buy things you don't need to live a life that's empty.
Also,
we have no war, we have no depression.
Yeah.
The Great Depression is our lives, is what he says.
They're the forgotten generation. And then right after that is 9/11. So they're pulled back in. You guys are good now.
We got 2 wars.
You have purpose.
We'll start one in Iraq just cuz.
You guys are depressed? Let's start a war. Also, I think the big one, especially nowadays, we have this movement called the Red Pill movement. And we have these eccentric characters that have entered mainstream, what's called the manosphere. We have people like Andrew Tate. I would even throw Joe Rogan in the mix.
Yeah.
We have a lot of these guys who...
Andrew Tate thinks he's Tyler Durden.
Yes, which is terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And these guys, their whole thing is, take the red pill, get out of the matrix. You are a man, and you need we need to be like the men of old, and we need to go to war, and we need to look good, and we need to fuck as many women as possible. We need to be super misogynistic. Yeah. It's all the worst traits of men that we are pushing onto not only grown people, but young men as well, which is the most destructive part of this, because in a way, it's much like Tyler Durden's character, where it's like, okay, we are turning this into an organization, but also like we're radicalizing people, and we're just taking the worst parts of our society and shoving it into our kids' face and telling them this is how you're supposed to be, and that's terrible. But I think you also get it from both sides, where it's like I do see some talking points where it's like, okay, there aren't enough men in the homes. There's not enough guidance for young men, and so they end up going either towards the streets, prison systems, not having much way of life, as you could say. That they don't understand their purpose. But also, your purpose is to not go to war. There's more to life than all of that, and I think that we need to find some kind of common ground, some kind of middle ground for commentary about men, especially when it comes to mental health. And I think this movie, and people gloss over it, is that this movie is like it's a mental health awareness kind of thing, where we want people to seek help for the problems that they're going through, and a lot of terrible things that have happened and that people do could have been avoided if they would have sought help from the beginning and gotten that help that they sought out after. So anyways, that was a big rant, but I think that this movie leads to a big talking point, and I just, unfortunately, a lot of people miss the mark with like movies like this, Taxi Driver, these incel type films.
Yeah, and I think the twist that your Andrew Tates have on it that is not in this film is like this anger towards women. Tyler doesn't have any of that. Like he doesn't seem to have the all we really see, his only interactions with women is like him picking up the phone and fucking Helena Bonham Carter. So it's not like we see him be like a fully rounded individual. But like that is not a problem. Like the movie's pointing the finger at big corporations and like the kind of like soulless ecosystem that you're supposed to buy into. Right. Where all these like manosphere guys are all like the system's crushing you because you are a man specifically. Right. And that like the world hates men now, and a lot of the reason the world hates men is because these women have feminism and whatever, like that is the problem, and that's, I mean. But then
you could also make the argument for Marla's character too. It's like if she fully embraced her, I don't want to say womanhood, but if she realized her worth, she wouldn't be in those situations. She wouldn't be with the men that she chose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Those men that do have those toxic traits. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that there is that commentary towards like the feminism stuff as well, where it's like, I think. It's like, what did the narrator say? He was like, why do weaker people latch on to stronger people? Kind of thing. And it was that whole thing where you automatically think she's weak just because she wants companionship. You know what I mean? I just think that there's some stuff going on with that as well. Maybe it's not as fleshed out as the big corporation shit, but I think it's something to be said.
And the author speaks about how a lot of this was inspired by, well, there's two things. He said he got in a fight on like a camping trip because somebody nearby was like blaring their music in the middle of the woods. And then he was all like beat up and went back to his corporate job, and like nobody would address the fact that his face is like totally effed up. Yeah. And he was interested in the way that people like don't want to address, like people want to maintain their distance in these like corporate structures and these like public things where it's like, if I ask all these questions, I'm gonna have to probably like learn something about you, right? And like know you personally, and I don't want to do that. I would prefer to remain detached.
And it's like, I think you find like in a fight you see the true person, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, that's why Tyler made that. He has like little homework assignments for his organization where he's like, go out and fight some random person. Yeah. And but lose the fight, And so when you're fighting that person, you see who they truly are. Are they a coward? Are they bloodthirsty.
My favorite part of the montage is the priest. And then the priest
sprayed by the water.
Yeah, and the priest joins the movement.
Yeah.
You see him later. And then the other thing the author talks about is this. I think he said it was like more like a Buddhist principle about like, as a child you have a father and then you leave your father and like find another father figure. A sensei, a coach,
right?
A pastor, whoever it is, as like your next male role model that you choose,
right?
And that, I guess, like our modern American, there's no like modern American version of that outside of a couple structures of like if you're in sports or if you've joined a religion.
Yeah.
Other than that,
or if you're in a gang or something.
Yeah. Other than that, it's hard to like find those figures, and this society's not like built around having that.
Especially when the idea of family is different now. You know what I mean? I think people realize like you don't have to be married to have a family. You know what I mean? Or it's like a family comes in different forms. It doesn't have to be your classic nuclear family and stuff like that. But the manosphere now is like, we need to get back to those times. The women need to be in the kitchen and that kind of thing. And like, it's just very interesting. And I hope somebody really writes a big paper on this one day and fully studies this whole like subculture that's come around. I think it's very interesting, and it's very disheartening too, because I think it's cultural nihilism. I think that's what it is. And this movie is very nihilistic, and I think that whole aspect where it's just like nothing matters, and we're all just a part of a machine, and that's really interesting, and it's sad.
Agree. We have anything else for? Hey, what are you trying to say?
I also think it's this movie is definitely it's got some homosexual stuff going on, which I think is another big talking piece. We don't have to get super into it, but Tyler and the narrator are definitely gay for each other.
Yeah,
and that's another part that the audience doesn't get. You know what I mean? So it's interesting.
I also think it's interesting because in the reality of the film, it's the narrator loving these parts of his personality. Like, this is his aspirational figure.
Yeah.
Is Tyler Durden, someone that is outspoken and has a screed and dresses however he wants. And,
and is kind of protective over his flock.
Yeah. In his own twisted way.
Ways. Yeah. Great scene is the car crash scene. That's a great one. I think his whole thing too was like, it's not about self-preservation, it's about self-destruction, and how they were like looking at posters of like ripped men, and they were like, is that what a man is supposed to look like? I think it's better when we destroy ourselves.
They're on the bus, and there's some ad for like a supplement, and he says like, self-improvement is masturbation, self-destruction, it's the only like valid thing.
It's
and I'm like,
so dark, dude.
Look at you, bro.
That is so fucking eerie.
I'll be getting you a Hot Topic gift card for your birthday.
Yeah, talk about edgy.
With your dark ass.
But then it's like you can find like, what's so interesting is you can find like truth in the ideology as well.
I was going to say, largely, once we get to the corporate terrorism part, I'm like, this seems smart.
Yeah, I'm kind of all for that.
I'm down for this.
Just kidding, FBI.
I'm going to get iced away.
No, for real. Anyways, let's move on to Let the Hate Flow Through.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
This is where we're going to air out our annoyances and our complaints. I think I'm more just annoyed with the cultural hold this movie has on. Like, it's just a weird artifact, and it's like embarrassing to like this movie because the worst people like it.
Yeah.
It's not a complaint with the movie, but just that like the culture that sprung up around it, I think, is largely people that just think, oh, Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not, they don't think it's any deeper than
They're
that.
not thinking that hard about it.
And my thing is like, I don't want to be pretentious and be like I understand all of it, and it's like, this is it goes over your heads, guys, you know what I mean? But I think it does have a lot more to say than what's on the surface level, and from that aspect, I think this movie is pretty timeless.
Like, being a cool movie is not the object in and of itself of this movie, and I think a lot of people just think, oh, that was a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Everybody doesn't need to, form a thesis about every film they watch.
Right.
But I think we have a media literacy crisis in America.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason everything's falling downhill as your boomer parents are reading AI news that's just lies and all that kind of shit. It's just
there's no such thing as truth anymore. There's no our idea of truth has been misconstrued to the point where it's like we don't believe anything anymore.
Or also just that people don't want to interrogate anything ever.
No.
They just want to take it in and say, sure, that's right. Whatever I just read is facts.
I did my own research.
Yeah.
Head ass. Which means you read an article for 5 minutes.
Maybe.
At best. And that goes back to what I was saying, cultural nihilism. I think it's a real thing. I think people are just like, the misinformation has gotten so bad to the point where it's just like people don't believe in anything anymore, and so that could either be somewhat good or a bad thing. I think it's helped on the aspect of like seeing the flaws in religion. I think that's a good one, but I think there's a lot more to be said.
I mean, I think Tyler's commentary about like you're living a life to buy things you don't need and consume, and like I think the more modern version of it, as our economies are even more stratified with like the rich holding more money in the 25 years later significantly than like was even true in 1999, is like we are getting sold a life that is like an aspirational life that is just a total fantasy.
Yeah, it's not obtainable
for 95% of you.
Yeah,
like it will not be attainable.
Yeah,
it is not something you will ever get. But you know what? You're going to log into your Instagram and you're going to scroll past all those people, and that jealousy is going to eat at your heart.
Yeah, and so the wheel keeps on a turning, buddy.
Yeah.
So I think the best way, the only way you can really get out of that is to completely unplug. And I don't think that's possible. I've tried that. I don't know how many times in a week I delete Facebook and I re-download it again. Because I see something extremely racist and disheartening and I want a break from it. But for whatever reason, it's just my hand starts shaking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, man, we live in wild times. And movies like this, I think, are important. I think that it's important to have these tougher conversations where it's like, okay, what is truth? And how do ideas form into something else? And that could either be a good or a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as things that I don't like about this movie, I think the runtime goes a little long. I think that it kind of overstays its welcome, especially towards the end.
The first half is better than the second half, which is a tough thing for a movie in general. I think it starts out great. That's what people remember, is they remember the Fight Club part. They don't remember the Project Mayhem stuff as much.
No.
And not that it's bad, and I think it's important, and the finale, like the ending of this movie is really, really good. But yeah, I agree. It's a little too long. It seems like a movie that could lose 10 minutes.
I kind of hated the whole, like, we have to explain the whole, like, Tyler Durden thing. You didn't really need to do that. I think if you're smart enough, I think you got it.
Also,
you know what I mean?
like, it's a hard bridge to cross when you're thinking, okay, so some guy saw a guy punching himself in the back of a parking lot and it sparked a revolution. Like, that's not, that should not be the inflection point of this film. Like, it almost would have made more sense for there to be, like, a third character that Tyler's encouraging Ed Norton to go fight this guy.
Right.
So that we have like a real fight happening, and it's just so funny seeing the little glimpse of Ed Norton punching himself in the face, which we find out he's an expert at that because we have a whole long scene with him in the office. That's one of my favorite scenes, is when he's like faking that he's being assaulted by his boss,
right?
So he can blackmail him and get money without actually having to show up to his job.
And I kind of hated the whole like the confrontation with Tyler at the end, where it's like he's like disappearing and what I mean, it's not excessive, thank God, and they didn't do like this giant confrontation between them where they're fighting on a rooftop or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I still think it's just kind of goofy. Like, you don't need that. I think just like a conversation between himself, you know what I mean? I think that would have been
And compared
warranted.
to the other 1999 film where a character isn't ever actually there, The Sixth Sense pieces together way better than once you have that reveal. Like, it's actually all there and it locks in place perfectly. You can it's easy to be confused. Like, so what were we actually seeing during the first 2 hours of this movie when Tyler and the narrator are sharing space? What is everyone else seeing?
Well, I think the whole thing was that the narrator was having an out-of-body experience where he was like, the scenes where he's watching Tyler do stuff, like obviously that's him like taking himself out of his body. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was very conveyed very well.
I guess I'm just saying is like there's the moment in Sixth Sense where the first time we see the scene, Bruce Willis is like trying to talk to his ex-wife, and he reaches over to grab the checkbook at dinner, and she takes it away before he can ever touch it. And then at the end, it's the real that he was a ghost the whole time. He was never really there. She never really interacts with him. Like it doesn't lock into place the same way.
Right.
You kind of have to do a little work with the movie. It's like, okay, so the narrator's over here watching Tyler, but Tyler's really. Yeah, he, like you said, he's having an out-of-body experience. He's viewing things from the third person. It just doesn't, and it doesn't really take away from the movie for me, but it doesn't all add up, I don't think, as easily as.
And also, like Marla, man, they get away from this guy. He's no good.
He seems like bad news.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she also seems like the type of girl that can't stop getting with guys.
She's the Harley Quinn, you know, of this Joker character.
I also just think the depression around working in an office is such like a 90s cliche that I just find it annoying. It's like, it's some real problems.
Yeah.
Like your job's probably a little soul sucking. And I'm like, specifically, the narrators is like, I think it's eating away at him morally because he's like covering up for this big corporation and their manufacturing defects and stuff. But it's a trope during that time, and it's a trope that I just think hasn't aged that well, because it's like a lot of people would love to have a job that pays you decently, and you sit in air conditioning. And it's a little soul-sucking, but it's like, damn, the angst needs to start from something a little bit deeper.
Right. Well, I mean, but like back then, it was like, I understand that because that's what most people's jobs were, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but now it's like there's so many different types of things you can do. A lot of people are online making money. It's different now, but... I want to see the Fight Club remake where it's about like social media. Somebody don't make that happen. But
do you mean The Social Network, also a David Fincher film?
Oh, yes.
Where Jesse Eisenberg starts a fight club at Harvard.
And Andrew Garfield.
And Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God. He's like Christopher Nolan, but for less attractive men. Anyways, let's move on to our final question. Is Fight Club a perfect movie?
You lost a baby brother. Perfect in every way. I had a baby brother. I had a little baby brother. And he was perfect. Perfect in every way.
Kalen, I'll let you go first.
I want to put it on the list, but I know it's
embarrassing to put on the list.
It is embarrassing to put on the list.
But I would agree with that.
But I think this movie is still like, it's so good, man. I think this movie is like, it's a timeless piece where I can watch this over and over. You know what I mean? Even though it's almost a guilty pleasure.
No, I agree. I would put it on the list. I think David Fincher as a filmmaker, I haven't completed like every film, but every time I watch one of his, I'm like, as far as a technical...
Let's look at his filmography real
like,
quick.
I forget what actor. I think it was Ed Norton that was kind of comparing him to like a modern Stanley Kubrick and just like his precision.
Yeah.
And that he's like trying to get exactly what he wants out of his actors, and he's known for using many takes and
right.
kind of like grinding people down. But everything almost every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, this is pretty damn good. Even Alien 3, which I watched recently and wasn't...
I'm not a big fan of Alien 3. I know you like that one.
I don't think it was great, but I was like, okay, I see the vision here.
Yeah.
I like that we're trying something and that we're dark as shit.
He's really good at the grime stuff. Seven is like one of the best crime dramas ever. It's a great movie. You ever seen Zodiac?
Yeah, Zodiac's great.
Zodiac's really good. I haven't seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Gone Girl is another great one. That one is so good. That's probably one of his best films.
Yeah, I think between Fight Club 7, Gone Girl, Social Network, and Zodiac, he's got like five.
The Killer is pretty good too. That one went
The Killer's
pretty
good,
under the radar.
But I'm just saying those are like 5-star classics. Like Seven's
yeah.
amazing. Gone Girl's good. Like Social Network's really good, and so is Zodiac. Like those, I have no qualms about at all.
I've never seen. Oh, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah, that's when him and Brad Pitt kept hanging out together. I would never. I have not seen that film, and I don't know if I've.
I
decided
have.
to.
It's okay. It's not. It's definitely not hateable.
That's one of his lesser reviewed films. The Game is the movie that came out between this and
seen Panic Room
7. And I started Mank, and I hated Mank.
You seen Panic Room?
No.
Jodie Foster.
But you know what David Fincher is doing next?
What?
The Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth, a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood about Brad Pitt's character.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? Did he buy the script from Tarantino?
I don't know who's writing it, but yeah, that's his next film. I think it is a Tarantino script.
That might be kind of good.
Him getting back on his Brad Pitt bullshit.
Yeah, for real. Did you see the trailer for the new Ari Aster movie?
Eddington?
That looks so good, dude.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're doing 2020 period piece movies already.
Yeah, COVID era period pieces
Yeah.
are back.
That movie looks like a banger, though. Holy shit.
It does look good. It also does feel like it's going to have a Beau is Afraid divisive reaction.
Yeah,
Where some
probably.
people are going to be like, I cannot stand the idea of watching this movie.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, it looked incredible. There's a lot of movies coming out that I am excited for. The movie with Denzel and Spike Lee, I'm really looking forward to that one. That is a remake of a Korean film, I believe. Or a Japanese film, one of them.
Kalen.
What's up?
Would you watch F1 with me?
Is it in theaters right now?
Yeah.
I'd probably see that, yeah. That's another Brad Pitt movie.
I want to see that on a big screen and hear all the cars go rum.
You know, that might... Is it getting good reviews? 83%.
It's gotten
on
decent
Rotten
reviews.
Tomatoes.
I mean, just based on the trailers, I know I want to watch them driving.
That's
in a
definitely
big
like
screen.
a movie you got to see in the theaters, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just not big into cars, man.
Well, I don't have to drag you if you don't want to
No,
watch
just
it.
kidding.
I'll
I'm just
watch it.
kidding.
I'll
I'll
watch it
watch it.
myself.
I watched 28 Years Later, and let's just say that movie is very interesting. Our boy from Sinners is back. The white guy, play the vampire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's back. Makes a cameo at the end.
Also, like a vampire?
No, but it goes full. It's so weird, but it goes full like Power Rangers at the end. I'm not kidding.
Whoa.
It's bizarre, dude. That whole movie is kind of like a mind fuck. And I don't know if I liked it.
Put that on the poster.
This whole movie is a mind fuck.
No, 28 years later, it goes full Power Rangers.
It goes full Power Rangers.
All right, so Fight Club, it's on the list.
Yes. I'm kind of like now that we said that, I'm kind of embarrassed.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Who cares? We just put Shrek on the list. Fuck
You
it.
better unchain to Django and let Fight Club be on the list. Next week, what was the film we just decided to do?
The Muppet movie.
Oh,
The
Muppet Treasure Island?
Yeah. Yeah.
Muppet Treasure Island.
And then we got to do a really serious.
No,
fucked
and
up
then we're
movie
going to
after.
do Attack of the Clones.
Oh, yeah. Mini review for that movie. That movie sucks.
Attack of the Clones.
I just remember Hayden Christensen being extremely awful in that.
But we get a lot of Natalie Portman midriff. So think about that.
Well, then I'm on board.
Kalen's allergic to white women.
Because last time we saw Natalie Portman, she was pretty boring. What was that? Annihilation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that then. Muppet Treasure Island.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. It just seems like a desecration